what are the restrictions now put on your fellow travel, so on your future travel? So you and Jeremy wanted to conceivably travel together. You're stuck in SA for now.
I can't go anywhere right now. If I do, I mean, of course I can leave the country. They say, oh, it's your own choice to leave the country. But that's totally counterintuitive, because if I leave the country, I'll get banned for 5 years from coming back. And obviously, A, I don't want to be banned at all. And B, if I was banned, I would then have to go, if I wanted to go anywhere else in the world, they're going to look at my passport and say, well, why have you been banned from South Africa? There must be a problem with you. It might restrict, my plans to travel elsewhere. And I travel a lot. I love traveling, But and I don't want to have to face questions from other countries and have to explain this whole mess when I've done nothing wrong. That's at the heart of this, is that I've done nothing wrong, and yet I face, potential problems from traveling to other countries.
Emma, this obviously all has an effect on how you work and where you work and how long you work.
Of course. I mean, I gave up, a great job in the UK to come here, but I was really excited about sort of just, getting on in a new place, learning to be somewhere else. And a lot of starting out and making a life for yourself is obviously building friends through work and being able to work full time. But without a visa, I can't work full time. So that had a huge effect on my self-esteem. I wasn't allowed to work full time. I wasn't allowed to be in an office, and I've had to turn down, 2 or 3 jobs on the basis that I don't have the right visa, which is thoroughly depressing and really frustrating, because if I had some sort of time frame, if they could tell me in 2 months' time you'll get your visa, I'd be like, okay, I'll busy myself somehow for 2 months. So I'll find a way of making money or doing something, but without knowing, how are you supposed to plan? Or even if they said, okay, your visa will be here in 2 months' time, then perhaps I could go back to the UK and work for 2 months and come back, but I can't leave the country. So, for nearly 9 months, not being able to work full time is a disaster. I mean, it's ridiculous and totally unfair. So it's been really stressful and frustrating, just incredibly frustrating.
Now, Jeremy, speaking about some of those frustrations, the visa, immigration, paperwork aside, you've got a relationship going here, and this has to be taxing.
Sure. I mean, relationships require a lot of work, and they require each person to hold the space for the other. I was also coming back and needing to sort of re-establish myself, but, seeing Em have to come and give up so many of the things that make her who she is, her family, her friends, her work, her routine, her sense of control, to come out to South Africa and to a sort of completely new culture, and to have all of those things stripped away from her, it's kind of put she hasn't been at her best, and we've struggled through this. It's been a huge challenge on our relationship, and in many respects, if she was allowed to go, she might not still be here, because our relationship would have got lost in the fire through this whole visa process. And I'm really glad that she is still here. And but I just think that we, in some respects, are actually lucky compared to some people who've been literally had their families split apart by this 5-year ban. So one member of the partnership in a different country when their kids are here and they can't get back in. Yeah, it's just absolutely destructive to what is essentially a God-given right.
Well, we certainly hope that everything gets resolved very soon, and thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Pleasure.